This is the view that I get every morning. Hear the robins and the cardinals squawking. My little 10 by 10 garden. Garlic all nestled in. And this is what survived our first hard freeze about a week ago. Sage, rosemary, echinacea, and bee balm. Rue. Some beginning starts of chamomile and feverfew. My slowly growing peas. A patch of happy-faced pansies and viola. Stevia that's struggling with the cold. Grapevine. I need to come out and plant some radishes out here now that I've got fresh mulch put down and my garlic in. This is garden number 2. I had leaf lettuces and chard and celery planted here, some kale and arugula, and my dog Rumor went in and decided to dig everything up. So I've got sporadic patches of things that survived her trample, part of owning dogs that like to get in the garden. This is very disappointing. I put straw down to mulch the soil, never using it before, and yes, it was straw, not hay. As you can see, it's yellow. It was in a compact bale, and it sprouted. And oh boy, did it sprout. I look like I got a new yard back here. Grass doesn't even grow back here in the winter. So I need to come in and turn it in order to kill it or put some cardboard down before it chokes out my Brussels sprouts. I have kale and arugula, some broccoli and red cabbage. I was very disappointed when this happened. I was following advice from another gardener on a different YouTube channel, and of course was not aware that straw could sprout and that you need to age straw before you put it on your garden. You can't just go buy a bale from the feed mill, or you run into this risk. My red cabbage is so pretty. I could just come out here and stare at its beautiful leaves. So, mistake number 1 for this new gardener is not having all the information on straw before I put it down. And just assumed because another gardener did it that I would have the same results. Part of my learning process, this was the first year I had a garden. It's the first time I've gardened in Texas. I had gardens when I lived in Michigan about 20 years ago. I grew up with a vegetable garden as a child and had to help weed it as part of my chores. What's up, Striker? What? Well, what? We can. I know. This is part of my perfectly imperfect life. I love all of it, even when things aren't perfect. I want to double my garden size. I have an additional garden in the side yard on the other side of the privacy fence, but the deer and the armadillos have laid waste to it, so it's just basically a patch of dirt at the moment. But I want to double this size of this one, and I want to add trellises to this one, along with more boxed gardens around it. So I have multiple garden beds fenced in to keep the dogs out as much as possible. But my sweet Jenga and Miss Rumor like to get underneath the fence and climb in there. Hi, JJ. Hi, Jeng. Jenga, Jenga. She says, of course, I like to garden with my mama. Here are some of my kids. The black one in the back is Saint. The one in front of him is Hope. Next to her is Bud. He's in stage 4 kidney failure. The blue girl is Squirt. The big red boy next to her is Rage. And that's Miss Jenga. And the loud screaming kitty cat that wants attention is Striker. And the boy over here is Dexter. Big Papa over by the fence, protecting and guarding anything that may come near the gate. My big red boy Phoenix. Hey, Fifi. Who comically gets called Fifi instead of Phoenix. Fifi. He's my Fifi. We bought this property almost 2 years ago and have officially lived here 2 years in the middle of December. As you can see, the red pots, hence why it's double stacked. Male dogs pee on everything, so you have to find tricks to be able to grow things to keep them from peeing on it. Double stacked pots work. I need to get pot stands that are tall enough so when they pee, they don't get into the bucket. The joys of living with 13 dogs. But anyway, we bought this property about 2 years ago. It was a foreclosure that was in pretty rough shape. We had a huge burn pile that was in the middle of the backyard that was full of glass. We still find glass buried in the dirt. There were no gardens or anything of that nature. The house had a lot of repairs and still needs a lot of repairs and is definitely a work in progress. But we love it. It's on an acre of land, and my goal is to one day have it 100% gardened out with lots of fun play areas for the dogs. But this right here is my imperfect perfect. With all of its flaws comes all of its glory and grace. It is my joy. It's the reason I get up in the morning. It's the reason why I go to work. So I can do things here the morning train. I apologize that my video is not fancy, it's not edited, and it's 100% raw with bloopers and background noise That's part of life. I won't edit out my mistakes or cut to perfectly framed beds in pristine shape, because that's not my life. I stumble, I crawl, and I dig my way forward, never letting it stop me. And I enjoy the grace and the glory of those struggling moments, as they make me who I am. If it wasn't for the hard times, how would we ever enjoy the good times? And with that, I will say, have a great, blessed day. And I hope you liked my short video of my backyard. And that you will subscribe and like and join me on a journey of a first-time YouTuber with a first-time garden, and that we can grow together.